Oh boy. Here we are. Hey gang. I don't know if anybody's listening to this. If you can hear me, just give me a thumbs up or fuck off. I don't care. This is me. We're Uncle Warren here, Extra Bulla Gaming, and we're back on the scene. I got snacks. I got nutty bars. Delicious nutty bars. So, anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope you're doing all right. We just started back this week. Last night we had a secret show. Me and Jimmy Sunderland, we taking care of business. And great show, I think. At least the parts Jimmy did were great. We were talking about sex toys last night. That's Bones. What's up, brother? Good to see you. I got this in Discord, so if you want to come into Discord, that's Bones. Come on with it. Yeah, that was fun. That was Jimmy was not prepared for last night, so I sent her a text. And I said, "Hey, look, this is what I want to do for at least part of the show tonight," and then I just sent her these pages of web pages of sex toys. Yeah, so that was not good, but it turned out all right. So anyway, tonight at same time, around midnight, we're gonna have Jett on tonight. Yes, please do. Hop on in. I'm gonna hop in the shipmobile here. And I already hear griefers on the other side there, so I'm pretty sure that I'm probably gonna get killed here shortly. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Let's see. I probably got dinged on the I probably got dinged on copyright with that music in the the music in the garage there. Oopsies. So it's been a while since I picked this up. I see you. I'm fine. I'm on in Discord. I don't know if I got it fixed set up or not. It's been a while since I've done this, so hopefully I can hear people. We'll see. So we're just driving around. Oh, there's Prop. I'm sorry, Snickle Fritz. So, as the title suggests, anxiety, depression, and GTA 5. And you may be asking yourself, Warren, what the fuck you talking about? Just to be a disclaimer, I am not a licensed therapist. I know I said I played one on TV, but that's a load of shit too. But I do have empathy for people as we listen to this crazy music like this. Wait, wait. I think this is Hamburger Hobos we're listening to right now. They do some really crazy music. But I really enjoy those folks. They're super nice people. Out of North Mississippi. No longer together as a band. But nonetheless, still good music. Or whatever this is. So, let's talk about anxiety and depression. So, I took a little break over the summer Mostly because the weather was really hot. I don't have air conditioning in here, and for all those not in the know, tech-wise, computers do not like hot, humid weather, which is exactly what it was. Oops, really not paying attention there. Yeah, so took a couple of months off, let it cool off. It's like super nice now. Beautiful fall weather outside. But yeah, also nice reefies. But also a lot of y'all helped me out in some bad time over the summer too. Very a lot of anxiety, depression. Can't find a job. Still can't find a job. Last one I had, I kept having a panic attack every day, and to the point where I couldn't even, I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to be around other people. I mean, nothing against them. I don't even know those people, but I just don't want to be around them. Yeah, and it's still ongoing. So I like to think of this session as more of a, not so much a therapy session for you, the listener / viewer, but for all of us, you know. I think one of the things that's very important when you're dealing with anxiety and depression is, you know, having a support group, you know. My folks are no longer with us. So I've been without them.
All right, let's keep it friendly out there this morning.
I think that was the radio guy. Anyway, so yeah, so if you're dealing with that kind of stuff, it's good to have a good support group. But not a lot of people have it. You know? Some people are just straight up alone, or they feel like they're alone. They don't want to reach out to people. They don't want to be a burden on people. And that's how I felt. I don't, you know, I did a little video explaining, hey, look, you know, I'm going to be out for a little bit dealing with some stuff, financial issues, and totally true. Still dealing with that. ACU says, Warren, I feel ya. I've had panic disorder, anxiety, and panic attacks for as long as I can remember. It's not fun. I'm here for it. Oh, thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. I really do. And you know, I gotta be honest. You know, a lot of the anxiety too, at least a good chunk of it, has come from infighting amongst my friends online. And, you know, I'm not going to name names. I don't want to start any shit or stir anything up. But it's hard to deal with things when, you know, you got your peeps going at each other. You know? So hopefully, you know, and we're all the same. You know, we all have the same goals. You know, we all want the same things. It's just a lot of us hear different information. A lot of us have different styles and techniques. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why the left can't get together so well, is because there are a lot of unique personalities in the left. You look at conservatives. A lot of them just you're starting to see a little more diversity in thought with the right, but still, it's more of a, they kind of think, for the most part, on the same lines. And even if you tell them, look, you know, I can't stand Democrats, I can't stand Republicans, even if you tell them that, they'll like say, oh yeah, well that's cool, but I still gonna vote Republican. And I think to a certain extent, the liberal people are like that too. It's like, yeah, I hear you, both parties are bad, but we can't have those Republicans win, so I gotta vote Democrat. It's just so frustrating. It's just ridiculous why that happens. We are all in the different types of Casablanca. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, right? I don't know. I'd like to think that we all want, you know, free health care, so then we don't have to worry about going broke. What the fuck was that? That was an NPC. That dude ran, he got right in front of me on purpose. Now you die. Oh dear Jesus. I like to think of this as the Dukes of Hazzard car, but only on crack. Extra spicy. You're an extra spicy jerk chicken? No, you are not a jerk chicken. You're a sweetie. Alright? But when we think about anxiety, depression, how can we overcome those things, right? First off, you've probably heard the term ignorance is bliss. And it's true. The less you know about the world, the less you know what's going on, probably the happier you are, right? And it's just but I'm not built like that. I've always been an inquisitive person. I've always wanted to know. I've always wanted to know what's going on. I guess that makes me nosy. But I'm not trying to get up in individual business. I'm trying to find out what's going on in the world. And that was cool. The guy just flew over the side. But I don't know. It's just the more I learn about what's happening, and the fact that I've surrounded myself with people that are in the know, that are informative, that kind of let me know what's going on in the world, that from information sources that I'm not quite sure of myself. It's even more depressing. And then you take the actual, even if you're not in the know, if you're ignorant or whatever, you're still having to buy groceries, you're still having to buy gas, you still have to pay rent or a mortgage, and so those things you can't avoid for the most part. Game's a little high. All right.
Don't go anywhere. Anywhere at all. I haven't, and no amount of therapy is helping.
Let's see if I can bump myself up. This is probably gonna suck for a second, so be cool, don't worry about it. Let's see, how's that? A little better. Let me bring this game down a little bit. In the thing, yeah, that was way up. I don't know why that was doing that. So let's try this. Hello. Okay. Right. And there we go. Okay. Hey, Jimmy. So we got Ed here. Good to see you, brother. Who's fucking around here talking about anxiety and depression. But don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to get you anxious or depressed. like to think this is a positive conversation. You know, as someone who suffers from both, I had a conversation with my sister the other day, and I was telling her about it, and she said, "Well, why don't you just go get some medicine for it? Go get some Xanax or you know, something like that, or whatever the things are." And I'm like, nah, I don't do pills. I'm not a pill person. My old man, at the end of his life, he was on everything. He had pain medicine, he had cancer medicine, he had diabetes medicine, he had all this stuff. He was fortunate enough, though. He was a veteran, and he got health benefits from the Veterans Administration, so he didn't have to worry, and us either, really, by extension. He was able to take care of us with that, and ever since then, I've always been an advocate for having that kind of medical care for everybody, where they don't have to break the bank. You know, I'm glad the veterans have that option, but I think everybody should have that option too. You know, you get depressed when Jimmy hits you. Hey, what's up, John? Exactly. I like pot really helps me with the anxiety and depression. I'm kind of like a totally different person when I'm smoking, and I feel a little more confident about things. Not cocky, but confident. Snickle Fritz, that's that may or may not be propaganda live. He proper denies it, but you know, you ain't fooling nobody, prop. We're gonna take a break here for just a second. I want to see. Let me go back to my where is you? Is it just me in here? Snickle Fritz, are you muted? Did you mute yourself? Did you want to speak? Or are you just hanging out? It's fine. You can speak. I don't care. Just, you know, don't go crazy. Don't go too crazy. Yes. Ooh. So, this kind of truck that's right here. Oh, man. I want to convert it into a house. Like a house on wheels. I want a house on wheels. I've decided, I've gone RV nutty. I want to be able to take my house wherever, because I got a feeling these rents ain't gonna go down anytime soon, and I'd rather, you know, wherever I drive, I'm home, that kind of thing. Oh, okay, Jimmy. Yeah, whatever. That's cool. Come on, whenever. This isn't Animal Crossing. No, this is Grand Theft Auto 5. So apparently there was some, and somehow I got, I don't know how I got experience points, but okay, I'll take it. So they had these leaks of GTA 6, and I don't know. I think they were like teeny tiny leaks. So I guess, so the news I heard lately was that they have stopped, I guess, like updates and fixes and stuff like that for Grand Theft Auto 5 and I think Red Dead Redemption 2. They've stopped all those, and now they're focusing their efforts on Grand Theft Auto 6.
Hi, Uncle Warren.
Hello. How are we? Oh, it's Icy. Icy.
It is.
Icy.
Yeah. I can't talk too much. I just wanted to say hi. I have bronchitis, so I sound like this.
Oh no, dear. Oh, I hope you get to feeling better soon. That was always
Thanks.
a bugaboo. When I was a kid, like in elementary school, every year I get bronchitis, and I wasn't even a smoker. But then again, I was in first grade, so I'm a bad boy, but not that bad a boy.
Smoking those crayons.
Wearing my little leather Fonzie jacket and calling people nerds.
Give me all your crayons.
I'm gonna whoop your ass. Yeah, I know. But I think I got. I remember one time. Hang on a second. I want to make sure. Say something for me, Spicy.
Something.
Okay, that sounds like you. Very good.
Yeah, there you go.
Kitty!
Wow, is this Grand Theft Auto, Uncle? Ocio!
Ocio! Yo, no, what's going on, brother? Yes, sir. We are tooling around Los Santos talking about anxiety and depression and how we can be there for one another whenever we do go through these episodes, and I was just telling Spicy Icy that I used to, she has bronchitis, poor thing. I hope you get feeling better soon, because I know how that is. It's just, breathing is just labored at best, and you're hacking up all kinds of crap, and I hope you're just taking it easy. So, but thanks for peeking and poking in and saying hi. I hope you get to feeling better soon, sweetie.
Thank you so much.
Who else we got in here? Oh, Glory's in here. Hi, Glory.
Is that you or Alex Jones?
Listen, the one thing I'll say is just know that you're never defined by your anxiety or your depression.
That's true. I mean, you get your ass whooped by it every once in a while, but it doesn't define you, right? It's just
100%.
It's like that movie Basket Case, right? You're just a regular person, and then you got your, that thing attached to you on the side that's just evil. And, that's what anxiety and depression is. It's that evil basket case, fake, thing. I don't know. I'm horrible with analogies.
No, it's cool. I understand what you're trying to say. It's just because I have my own anxiety I deal with. So it's like, I used to feel like, shit about myself. I used to be like, yo, why the fuck am I worrying about this minuscule shit? Like, what the fuck? And feel all weak and shit. So I had to, tell myself that and, make it, my own little mantra and shit. It's still there, but I'm getting better, so.
Well, it's like I said, we're all here for each other, I always tell people one of the best treatments for anxiety and depression is just vent. Because, a lot of people just keep that shit inside. I'm one of those people. I don't want, I'm a no drama llama. I don't want people, to be worried about me. They got their own shit to worry about, right?
Oh my God, Warren. That must be a common theme here because I genuinely never want people worrying about me. So,
right.
I never tell people, but, bro, it helps to vent. Common theme here because
I'm the same way. I mean, that's the way I grew up. My old man told me, he said, hey, look, you deal with your problems yourself. I mean, if you need help with something, you ask for help, but, try not to ask for help. Because he was old school. We're talking about a kid who grew up in the Great Depression back in the 20s and early 30s, and you really didn't have time for anxiety and depression back then. You had to grow shit, you had to eat, you had to work, and you really. But my old man suppressed it, and it runs in our family big time. My mom was bipolar. My dad experienced, when he was in World War II, he experienced a gruesome death by one of his one of the people in his unit. He was stationed in Corpus Christi, Texas. He was an airplane mechanic.
Oh yeah.
And he watched somebody walk into a plane propeller that was still the engine was still going. You know, kind of like in Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. That dude walked in. It was the same thing. So he saw that, and planes would come in. He'd have to fix that would come in from overseas that were in the war, and he would find like fingers and body parts and stuff like that from it's when they say war is hell, I can't really say from experience myself. I've never been in war, but I can imagine if you saw shit like that, just that is hell in and of itself, So Gamer is in the chat. What's up, buddy? He said something about a bully in somebody's call-in chat. What's going on with that, Gamer? That's crazy. Fuck bullies. We don't need that shit. Fucking insecure little motherfuckers trying to talk shit.
I had a little moment there where I kind of thought I was dealing with bullying, and fortunately I had personal boundaries established, and I realized that my personal boundaries had been violated. So I just took a step back, and I just went back to my vibe. For me, getting over suicidal tendencies and self-destruction and anxiety and depression has been a lifelong struggle. Thanks to PTSD, it's been nearly insurmountable. But because I smoke the weeds, I gotta say, the weeds has helped me get to such a higher level of vibration and good vibes that almost nothing kills my vibe. But there are still instances where certain people or certain behaviors are like deal breakers with me, and so I have to disconnect. Ask Jimmy; she knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I mean, to a certain extent too. I have to do that. If I could, I would. I would just. I'd be medicated all the time. Because I usually am when I have weed.
But I just want to stay positive. I'm not trying to be. It's about the vibration. It's not about me beefing or naming anyone specifically. The take-home advice is, to find your vibe and stay in your vibe, comfortable in your skin, and that's quite an order to fill,
Right. Hey, before we go any further, people in the chat, can you guys hear Yona and everybody on Discord? Just let me know, okay? Because I don't want people to think I'm just talking to myself here. Answering questions that they can't hear.
1, 2.
You know what though? I'm not immune to get caught talking to myself because I confession. So if y'all know me, y'all know I don't really drink coffee like that. So whenever I get caffeine in my system, I get super fucking jittery and I'm up all night, and I always start talking to myself whenever I get caffeine. So it's like I'll just be walking the dog and I'm like, I'll have I'll be having a whole ass rant with myself.
Yeah, I do that too. I often have full-on conversations with myself, or at least I used to. Not so much anymore, since now I have actual real people to talk to. But the flesh and blood normies. But yeah, sometimes you work shit out. You talk to yourself, you can work some shit out. Sometimes you do that.
It actually feels good sometimes. Sometimes it just feels good.
It does. It really does. I mean, like, I used to, let's see, a lot of times, when I lived down south, I'd have, like, pretty decent road trips to go home. Like, I was going to school up in North Mississippi. It's about 4.5 hours to get back down to where my folks were. And that whole, listening to music, and a lot of times if I had a problem, I'd try to just talk it out with myself, try to see if maybe there was some part of my brain I wasn't using to solve the problem, and a lot of times I could tap into that part and I get the answer,
It's ironic, Uncle, that you brought up Corpus Christi earlier in your story there, because right now I'm waist deep and contemplating a stream later tonight, talking about the Corpus Christi Harbor Bridge cancellation by TxDOT because the independent engineer found that the massive multi-billion-dollar bridge, largest civil engineering project in the United States right now, has been put on ice by TxDOT. Lawsuits are flying because there's already cracks in the bridge, and the foundations for the piers are insufficient. And so it's a major scam. Major
Damn.
Scam. Problem in Corpus Christi. Big problems. It's the talk of the civil engineering community right now all across the world. And so now all eyes are upon the Gordie Howe Bridge nearing completion between Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Canada.
Yeah, I've never...
The Cable State Bridge controversies. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Infrastructure issues, my friend.
Hey there. Is this a good time? Great.
No, that's not a good time.
Oh my god, I actually thought that was a person.
Oh my god, it was Glory. He's my friend.
I was like, who the fuck popped into the call?
He my friend. Glory. Quit it. You quit being mean. Nah. Yeah, some fucker trying to get me to do a job. I'm like, no dice, precious. I gotta go out here and go get my helicopter. But
roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. We use helicopters.
Speaking
Going
of
in the Batcave.
Speaking of Doc Brown, I had this theory that Doc Brown and Reverend Jim from Taxi were the same people. Only Reverend Jim was always just like stoned and on mushrooms, and Doc Brown was a big-time cokehead. But it was the same person. He just had two different moods depending on what chemicals he was taking at the time. So, yeah. So, anyway, that's just a theory. I could be wrong. I have to be very careful. I don't play copyrighted music. Otherwise, I don't know what will happen. Fuck it. I don't care. But my old man, going back to what he went through, he suppressed it. He never told anybody about it. I never knew anything about it till after he died, and my sisters would tell me, "Oh yeah, he was, they told me what he had went through and stuff. I had no idea." But that's what old people did. They just kept it to themselves. They don't tell nobody. Your damn business. I'll handle it myself. That kind of thing. And you can't do that today. I mean, I guess you could to a certain extent.
Boy, have I heard some war stories. Ooh. And I've lived some war stories quite myself, but
You want to
tell your story, for people like myself. Well, for people like myself that, have really suffered trauma and everything, I mean, I can talk about subjects, but, I kind of shy away from specific stories per se, because it is pretty, it's such a fucking mind fuck, and it's so real because it was IRL type shit, But like, for example, the thing that still gets me to this day, that still goes on in combat, is what we call death porn. And there are different forms of death porn, but it generally always involves a cadaver, typically one that's been roasted alive and either putting cigarettes in the mouth or doing other positions or posing like with a trophy kill, like you're hunting lions in the Serengeti or something with billionaires. I mean, it's the posing for the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
And like the way that the memories are framed as they happen, and the posing of these pictures and stuff.
Yeah,
it's really.
Can I tell people?
It shows the depravity of it.
Can I tell people what you told me about your experience in the military, like, or not everything, but just like where you were and when you were.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Operation Desert Storm in 1994 after I got qualified in Arabic language at Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California.
Yeah, so you were in the desert before Bush Jr. came along, and I have a buddy of mine. I told you this already, but I have a buddy of mine who was there too, and he can really attest to what you were saying about what was going on over there. And like I said, this is the same cat who he was in the same unit, I think, as Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber.
Right.
So,
right.
And I never knew that. My buddy came to New York a few years ago. He was on a business trip or something, and so we were hanging out, and we got on the subject of 9/11, and then he started telling me this tale about Timothy McVeigh, how he was just kind of like a standoffish guy. He was 100% against the war, the Desert Storm. Felt like we had no business being there. And then later he goes on to witness what was going on down in Waco, with the Branch Davidians. And then from there, he's
David Kohlrabi.
Yeah, the story goes that he was standing on a hill with binoculars, like about a mile away or something, and he was watching the whole thing going down when the feds busted in and the whole thing burned up. And
I'm sorry, I giggled. I just saw someone in the call.
I was like, Jesus, Glory.
Yeah, no, it's not the story. I just looked at the call and saw.
It is a little funny. There's humor to be found everywhere if you know where to look, and if you're twisting it up. So, but
I'll tell you, what really strikes me was the fact that there was no moral high point. It was just a constant process of low morale and further demoralization in the field as you're exposed more and more to the fact that you're just an occupying army, and even worse, the fact that for active duty cadre in the field that are in branch services under contracts, whether 4 years, 6 year, whatever the case may be, and it doesn't matter what service branch, whether you're Marines, Navy, Air Force, Army, what have you, that even at that time in 94, we already had in the field there with Halliburton and Brown, Ilk, and Root, I'm going to estimate around 25% privatized forces with, mercenaries, contractors. And I mean, when you get later on into Operation Enduring Iraqi Freedom and the other things since, at this point in time, I would estimate our privatized forces versus regular cadre that are under UCMJ, Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's probably, I'm going to say, at least 80 to 90% mercs, and even worse in Afghanistan. So when they say boots on the ground and we've fully pulled out, they only refer to Marines and Army soldiers and Navy sailors and Air Force pilots and whatnot that are active duty or reserves or National Guard units. They're not referring that because they have plausible deniability when they're talking about Eric Prince Blackwater type thing or Halliburton or other contractors, because then they can give them innocuous sounding names in their Pentagon contracts as we spend just ungodly treasure in each appropriation bill as they just continuously escalate so-called defense spending, which is just, really empire.
Yeah. That's all it is now.
Empire.
I mean, that's all it has been, at least since World War II. I think, had we not gotten into World War II, I don't know if things would have been different or not. Because, we weren't the deciding factor in World War II. It was the Russians. Let's be real about this. The Russians were the ones who beat the Nazis. We helped. But
what do you mean, bro? If it weren't for us, the French would be speaking German.
which is ironic because I have a French friend who loves sauerkraut. I don't understand it, but you know, it is what it is, and you know, I don't keep shame, so it's all right. Anyway,
I mean, I like sauerkraut if it's been fried in the pan with like the cut up pieces of Polish sausage. Now that's all right when it gets all like grilled and cooked and browned and golden up in the sausage grease.
Really, I've never had it that way. I've always had it. Now I've had it heated up in a pan on the stove. You know, like you know, heated up, but not like fried. You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, when you fry it in bacon, the bacon grease, or you fry it in the sausage grease, it's totally different. It's totally different.
Really?
Because then it's like crunchy almost, but like the turkeys, potatoes, crunchy, or that little onion crunchy things you can put on things. It's so
onion crunchy things. I love those things. The people who turn their nose up at 3B.
Yeah, like I'll tell you what, like the sausage grease or the bacon grease fried sauerkraut bits, to me taste like chicharrones or pork rinds. They're really good.
That sounds good too.
Yeah. Just so you know.
Yeah, I've only had it like get a nice bratwurst. A buddy of mine from Minnesota. He, I'm about to die because I don't think I can fly this helicopter in this tunnel. Oh, shit! We'll see. But anyway, he takes bratwurst, he puts it in a pan, and gets dark beer, right? Gets a good dark beer, and he boils the bratwurst in the beer, right? And then you take the bratwurst out, and then you put it on a grill, and it's just fucking delicious. And
yep.
And then you know then you put sauerkraut, you know, heated sauerkraut and stuff like that on there. But the fried, I'm gonna have to.
You know, ironically, the base of operations for our Middle Eastern empire, fun and fuckery, is actually there in Germany at Rammstein Air Base, not to be confused with Rammstein, singers of Du Bois, but Rammstein is like a little piece of the United States.
This is Gonzalo speaking.
KFCs and McDonald's and all that stuff. Just like Guantanamo Bay, you know, the only difference being Guantanamo Bay is the oldest, it's the first, thus oldest, continuously held foreign military base of the United States. Guantanamo Bay was seized in 1898 by the U.S. Navy, and we still have it. That's where they serve cock meat sandwiches to Harold and Kumar. And they get
yeah. Among other people. John in the chat is talking about a
so,
Reuben.
You know, now, what is it?
Glad to see you guys.
How many is it now? Is it like, I'm going to say there's at least 850 U.S. foreign military bases and installations in at least 194 countries. I mean, it's just staggering, and that's why we have so many defense contracts, and it's demoralizing when you're just trying to escape the poverty draft and just get some GI Bill money or whatever. You know, a lot of people that enlist don't enlist because they're wanting to wrap themselves in the flag or because they want to invade somewhere. They're just trying to find a way to get health coverage or pay for college. I'm just being real, you know. People enlist for different reasons, and
that's a lot of my friends enlisted for the same reason, you know.
And then you realize, holy shit, this is an empire, and we're the fucking bad guy. Like, you know, that's why so many veterans, when they get out, are like veterans for peace and fighting against more war, because having seen it and understanding it, you realize it's all a charade and just a business of the banks and other imperial investors just moving chess pieces around, and you realize that when you're one of the pawns on the table, you know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like when you can when you're able to step back and see really what, you know, this country has done to other countries and why they did it to those countries, if you have a conscience or even just a soul at all, it'll make you sick to your stomach. Because, you know, I've seen videos of guys in the active military who, you know, some guy will be, I guess they have their phone in there and they're recording them or whatever, and it's like, hey, what if you could say something to your recruiter right now, what would you say? And every one of them to a T, like, go fuck yourself, eat shit, I hate you, you lying piece of shit. I love those videos because they're just
but
like.
The thing about it is, with Russia, you know, Russia's just instituted a draft, and we've been looking at airplane flight prices for, you know, trying to get out of Russia for those that are wanting to dodge the Russians right now. And it's pretty astronomical, and it just leads me to think, what happens if we have a Vietnam situation again here in the United States, where the Selective Service Administration is activates a draft and begins American conscription? How many draft dodgers will there be here? Because I couldn't imagine there'd be a great number of people wanting to die for President Poopy Pants.
No.
You know, I mean,
No.
it's just, you know.
Well, I tell you, if
They already had problems with recruiting.
if we start fucking with China, like Joe said, like militarily, even though his people corrected him within the 60 minutes interview, said, nah, we're not gonna do that shit. But you know they are. They're gonna fuck with China, and then they're gonna, nobody's gonna want to be in that war, and then they're gonna do a draft, and then, you know, that's when all hell breaks loose. You know, I hope it doesn't happen. I really don't. But you know, think about the fuckery over the last few years. You know, it ain't out of the realm of possibility. You know.
Well, sadly, with the response to this so-called Ukrainian counter-offensive, the Russian response is not shocking, but it is escalation nonetheless, escalation upon escalation. Granted, responses to antagonization, but regardless, here we are, literally at the brink of guerrilla chest beating and pissing contests, literally in the media, directly with, you know, Putin and Peskov and what's his name? His name's slipping my mind now. Their head diplomat, Sergei. I can't remember his last name. Their most seasoned foreign diplomat.
His last name
Sergei, whatever.
It's not.
And he was speaking at the United Nations the other afternoon, and literally referring to Zelensky, albeit quoting the U.S. deep state, but saying that it was the U.S. deep state quote that he then quoted, that Zelensky may be a son of a bitch, but at least he's our son of a bitch. And I'm like,
exactly.
oh, like, yeah, but I mean, to say son of a bitch on the floor of the United Nations, where it's being translated into 85 languages real time, I mean, that's, again, it's escalation in words, escalation in action. Now you got kids in Russia fleeing this what's termed a partial mobilization. The so-called denazification is now just a very obvious annexation, as we have this so-called referendum votes all across the areas that are now occupied by the Russian military. So, I mean, I don't claim to know the answers, and I'm not picking sides. I hate to see the loss of human life, but I don't know. It seems like with all these people dying these days, it all kind of plays into one agenda of hurry up and die fors. That's what I'm going to call it. It's the hurry up and die fors agenda. Anything we can do to kill more poor people quicker. So it all helps because they're a bunch of worthless eaters anyways. Isn't that right, Switzerland?
Worthless eaters. That was the name of my alt rock band in college.
Be happy for us.
Live at the Civic Center, Worthless Eaters with special guest Crocus. Tickets on sale now at your mom's house or in her vagina. Wait, what? So, anyway, well, yeah, exactly. Like,
Frog Low from the Worthless Eaters, new band name.
If you're not down with the agenda, then they're going to try and depress you to death and make you feel like you're nothing, that you're an outsider, that you have no worth. All these psychological games and whatnot on people until you toe the line, right? You know, get your mind straight. You better get your mind straight, son. You know, because this is what we doing. You can't be doing your own thing like that. You know, that's no. Can't do that. So, anyway, that's why I never.
Thank God for the weeds. That's all I can say, Uncle Warren. Smoke more weeds. Thank God for the weeds. It works for me.
I tell you, I was one of those, you know, I got caught up in the propaganda of the 80s, you know, the scared straight and all that shit, and, you know, just say no. So I never touched any of that stuff. And then it wasn't until I was like 25 years old, and that's when the first time I ever smoked pot. Nah,
it was at a Tom Petty concert.
Actually, the coolest...
My dad was the Stanford grad. He turned me on to what was really going on. When Nancy Reagan came out with the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, or DARE, the whole Just Say No thing, when Ronnie was president, and his vice president, George Sr. Bush, was trying to kill him. Actually had an assassination attempt. My dad was the one that said, Nancy Reagan says just say no. She never said that to any dick in Hollywood. She was the throat goat. And then when she died, I heard it again. I was like, holy shit, my old man knew about the throat goat. Did my old man get brains?
Throat goat.
I don't know.
I would never picture Nancy Reagan as a throat goat, but you know, and I could, but I don't want to, because that I don't know. Maybe a younger Nancy Reagan, but not like, you know, whatever that was.
You'll hear Kamala Harris say, "Do not come, do not come," but you never heard Nancy Reagan say that, did you?
No. Nope. She said just say no.
It down.
She didn't say don't come. She said don't do anything. Just say no.
I'm attracted to two type of women: Nancy fucking Reagan and Tipper Gore.
Oh God!
Oh,
Gonzalo, but those women are over the age of 25. Gonzalo Lira.
You're right. I don't date fatties. Anybody over 25.
That's so messed up. That is so. That's nightmare fuel.
This is Coach Red Pill Archives here.
Yeah.
Well, since
Listen,
you're here, Prop.
Don't date
Gonzalo,
women unless you can manipulate them. Hey, my name's not Prop.
Where the fuck your name is today?
Gonzalo Lira, a.k.a.
Quinn Peterson from Alberta, Canada.
For dating advice, Uncle.
Oh my God.
Snoochie Boochies, or whatever the fuck you was calling yourself. Hey, Mariana, good to see you up in the chat there.
Quinn Olsen,
Can I just say, Mariana's lovely.
So Gonzalo, is it? Thank you for slumming and coming to my...
Yeah, if you ever need to learn how to pick up chicks, just go to my fucking YouTube channel, Coach Red Pill Archives.
First, buy a
Officially
windowless
how women...
van. Second, paint free candy on the side. Third, park at least 1,000 feet away from the school, so technically you're not breaking the law. I mean,
Have you ever heard that song, Always Trust a Man in a Big White Van?
No. That sounds awesome, though. I want that played at my wedding. If I ever get stupid enough to get married, that's what I want played at my wedding.
Aww.
Listen. when I was a youngster, I wanted to get married, I wanted to have kids, the whole 9 yards. And then I got in my 30s, and then that shit, somebody went to the breaker switch and shut that shit down. It was great. And one day I woke up, I said, kids? I can't even take care of my own self. How the fuck am I going to take care of a kid? They're probably child services just going to take it away from me anyway, so what's the point? So...
Nah, they'll let me fucking idiot kid. You just didn't fuck a kid up.
God,
you can be proud of that.
I a different direction there, fellas. I've already had 6 children, and I'm working on my 7th child. You know what I'm saying? We just went different directions, I think. There. You know, well, some people take a stroll with the puppy. Some people walk with it. Yona goes hiking like the Appalachian Trail.
Oh my god!
You know what I'm saying?
Raw dog with no shoes on.
Look, I got nephews like you,
That's
Yona.
Right.
They just like, dude, you know there's such things called condoms, right? Or not fucking. That's what I was telling them.
Professional raw dogger, bro.
What? That would be like not smoking weed. What are you talking about?
It's like condiments.
But no, I have plenty of family and friends who have kids, and you know they're great parents, and I'm like, I got nothing against parenting in general. It's just not for me. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I found that out sooner than if I did have a kid and then find out, I think my life would have been totally different. You know, I would have had to devote my whole self to that child, and I'm a selfish person. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to do that. I don't want to devote myself to no kid.
You've been working for the Democratic Party establishment, making that bank.
I can't cap on how much of a struggle it was with the first 2 children and then the 3rd child, but now that I'm older and in my late 40s, you know, it's totally different. I'm much more chill and patient. It still wears my nerves, but you know, you get older and more patient typically. I mean, at least I have, thank God. I mean, it'll try your patience.
I'm just gonna put it this way. I don't want to make babies, but I don't mind working at the factory, if you know what I'm saying. So we'll just leave it at that. and let's just say I like to practice, but I don't want to actually make anything. So, you know, and I applaud. I feel so bad for a lot of parents these days, the shit that they have to go through. I mean, Yona, you and I are pretty close to the same age, so you remember back in the day when things were a lot simpler, and now, good Lord, you sneeze at a kid, and all of a sudden, you know, they're going to call child services on you and take the kid away, and you're like, you know, what the fuck did I do? You know? So
you beat the kid.
Well, most alarming to me is the fact that all of these, what I would refer to as like pillars of society, where traditionally parents used to have an implicit trust and, quite frankly, ability to trust in these pillars of society, have one by one lost credibility, lost trust. Like, for example, Boy Scouts or the Catholic Church, or, you know, I mean, just there's been so many stories. I mean, it's to the point that since we've had a lot of public schools, K through 12 and private K through 12, due to COVID, you know, getting goofy about the koofies, closing schools, you know, off, what do they call it, remote learning only, you know, log on to a Zoom call or something, closing schools to campuses. All this stuff has led to just a tremendous loss in schools, a loss of trust in schools and teachers, a loss of trust in, you know, the federal regulatory agencies that are supposed to be keeping us safe, but instead are in cahoots with the industry they're supposedly regulating. And you know, it doesn't matter which industry you're talking about at this point, whether we're talking about the FAA sucking off Boeing while Boeing planes, you know, plow themselves into the ground repeatedly, or, you know, the FCC sucking off Comcast with Ajit Pai and his oversized coffee cup as they ruin net neutrality, or the FDA and CDC sucking off Al Borla of Pfizer as they do the bidding of Big Pharma. I mean, no, you know, so when it comes to being a parent with children, who are you supposed to trust that really has your own child's best interest at heart when most of these agencies are just corrupted and working at the behest of the corporations they're not regulating?
And you might as well assume they're all corrupt at this point and just be pleasantly surprised when you find one that isn't. Real quick, I want to shout out chat real quick. Mariana says, I feel the same way, Warren. Didn't want to be responsible for a child, can barely be responsible for me. And, you know, I'm Gen X, so you see a lot of the Gen Xers are like that too. I know plenty of people that, you know, I went to school with that aren't married, and they don't regret that decision one bit. But John Kemper says grandchildren try that older patience. So
you're one of the junior boomers, Warren.
I'm an older Gen X because I was born in '69. Oh yeah, right on. I keep getting older.
Well, you got 5 years on me, buddy.
Yeah, so we're in the same neighborhood.
Yeah, I was in the 8th grade when you were a senior.
Ed in the 8th grade. Ed in the 8th grade. Ed in the chat. I think he turned 50 this year. Or maybe he's going to be 51. I think. Sorry, I don't mean to call you out, Ed. But you look good for your age, brother. So keep on doing what you're doing.
It's okay, guys. I'm real old too. I turned 22 almost just a month ago now.
Oh, look at you, Peaches! Oh, you're so cute. You know, people say I have clothing older than you. I do, Glory. I do have clothing older than you because I'm cheap, and I don't.
I have so many fond memories from the 1900s. You know, before it turned 2000. The good old 1900s. Yeah.
Back in my day, we didn't have Earth. We just floated around. We liked to find oxygen, and gravity was for pussies. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what y'all sound.
I'll never forget our family reunions every year. Family reunions, we'd get all the hand-me-down clothes, and I would get these clothes from my cousin Max Seymour. And, you know, we're talking 1978, 1979 era. So, like, literally, I had, like, wardrobe of Casey and the Sunshine Band going to school. It was
nice.
Collars that go all the way down to your belt. You know the tips of the collar, and then, bro.
Right on. Well, I tell you, look,
Boogeyman. That's what I am.
Yona, you strike me as the cat that would be a really good father, you know, and we need more people like you, because some of us ain't gonna be parents, and if we want the human race to continue numbers wise, keep fucking.
I was about to say definitely.
Keep fucking, because I ain't gonna do it. I'll keep fucking, but I'm not gonna make no babies.
To repopulate the Cherokee tribe, you know, when Cherokee tribes lost so many for so long, I feel like I'm doing my part to bring the Cherokee Nation back.
I got a feeling like in 1,000 years, after it's all said and done, everybody on the planet's gonna look like Yona. There's gonna be so many. You're gonna have so many kids that
Yoda's gonna go to like Genghis Khan.
Jonas Khan.
Be like Agent Smith on the Matrix, but instead of Agent Smith being a dick that's after Neo, Agent Smith's gonna be a stoner like Howling from South Park. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, poor John.
This is the secret plan to replace white people with Cherokee people. One is actually a globalist agent aiding in the Great Replacement.
I'm ready for somebody to replace me, that's for sure. I'm stick a fork in me, I'm done. John in the chat says, lucky you, Uncle Warren. He was born in 61 and they call him the B word. My oldest sister was born in 60 and my middle sister was born in 62. So I was basically the last chance for mom and dad to have a boy, and yeah, so that's how I came about. So I could have totally been a girl too. So
my oldest sibling, I was preceded by 2 girls, and my dad said he wasn't going to stop until he had a boy, and so it was the same thing with me. After 2 girls, Dad was really wanting for a boy because my other sisters were born in 67 and 70.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of like the same boat I am. Well, you're a little closer in age with your sisters.
Fuck out of me, dude.
Yeah.
My older sisters, man, they were mean to me.
Mine too, till I got to be 6 feet tall, and yeah, that shit stopped real quick. Seeing how they were both like 5'2" and 5'7". Yeah, we're done with that. Now we're gonna flip the script. So yeah, they would tickle me till I peed my pants. That's how they were. They were assholes. Yeah. So then I got older, they tried that shit, and I'd put my
I literally got held up by my ankles and shook around. You know, I'm literally holding me upside down by my ankles. Put me in the dryer. It's all kinds of stories. Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, they were just, we were just kids, obviously. And now they're like old. They used to tell me, they say, we're older than you, and now they don't say that shit because now they're ancient. And I have to
gotta
tell
say,
them,
no offense to my sisters, but they both look like shit. And I mean, I don't look the best, but I gotta say, I think I turned out all right.
Yeah, I look better than they do. I ain't gonna lie, I love my sisters, but
Donna and Warren are the best looking sisters.
Y'all are straight animals.
I love my sisters. Don't get me wrong; they're sweethearts. But back in the day, they were kind of assholes to me, and then I had to get my revenge. So, it's
I'll tell you one quick story, man. There's this terrible hill with all these switchback curves in it. Like what we call switchback curves. Where 180 degrees coming down off this mountain between the Abraham Lincoln Boyhood Home and Hodgenville, where the high school was, outside of E-Town, Kentucky. It's talking about an hour south of Louisville. This is the birthplace of Abraham Lincoln, 16th president of the United States. And so he's got his birthplace cabin in Hodgenville, and his boyhood cabin's at the bottom of the Muldraw Hill, which is a vertical drop of about 400 to 500 feet over the course of a mile and a half, and that's why it's got all these switchbacks, hanging curves around the side of the hill, and just a treacherous stretch of road. And I was riding with my oldest sister, Margaret, and she had gotten her hair done because it was prom, senior prom, and they fucked her hair all up. She looked like a wet poodle. She had that what Fiorella called Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She had that ramen noodle hair, son.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
disappointing. Dude, my oldest sister, Margaret, she had the fucking flames coming out of her eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? And because her hair was total shit, she had that fucking ramen noodle hair. Shout out to Fiorella. So anyway, we get to the part. She's flying. We're flying back home to New Haven, Kentucky, on U.S. Route 31E, about to go down the old Muldraws Hill. And she's flying. You can't safely go down that road much more than 50 miles an hour. She's doing 65, using both lanes. And this is an ancient federal road that they've since bypassed. That never had guardrail. It had the wooden posts with a little steel single cable going in between that sags down. So it's pretty looking. But, anytime semis or school buses would miss a curve, they'd just go sailing right off the side, and then they'd plane across it. And so that, literally the whole road was just a string of crosses to the bottom. And so we're flying around this road, and she's literally Tokyo drifting around the 180s and just crying, but like the angry cry with the red rings around her eyes, just completely maniacal. I mean, I can't believe I'm alive.
I've never heard of an angry cry. That's like.
I know because That's like, I don't know. That's like when you got hormones involved too and shit.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like if you're in
Yeah, 'cause she
pain
had her
or
hot
something
cake,
like that.
everything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can dig that. I've done that before. Like,
Got
been
home
in-
and she was
Well,
in the
yeah,
kitchen
because like
sink trying to
imagine
wash the
being in
sperm out of her
pain,
hair.
but like you're severe. Like imagine being in pain, but you're also severely irritated by the fact that you're in pain.
Right. Yeah. The frustration of it. I've felt that before too. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. You know. But yeah, that's angry tears. That sounds like a song. I'm pretty sure somebody wrote a song about angry tears.
I
Maybe.
can't believe I survived. And then we got home and she plunged her head down in the kitchen sink, was furiously trying to wash the perm out of her hair. She got out of the sink, she blow dried it off and everything, and came out. Still looked like Jerry Cole. Still looked like wet ramen noodle. Because the perm had set. That's why she was trying to get home before the perm set up, but it was too late. That's why it's called the perm.
Gloria, have you ever gotten a perm? You ever gotten like perm?
Nope.
In your hair?
No,
You always had the same hairstyle?
Yeah, as y'all can probably tell, I'm very natural when it comes to my hair. The last time I straightened it was, I believe, in 6th grade. The last time I even blow dried it was, I think, like towards the end of my freshman year in college, because I was getting box braids put in it. So they didn't straighten it, but they blow dried it. And yeah. I'm pretty natural about the way I look.
I love your hair, Gloria. You have great hair. It's like your trademark at this point. You know, if you had different hair, I'd be like, who is this? I didn't even know this person.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
to cuddle. Don't be so frigid.
It's like
Oh man, if
iconic.
If I
your hair is
my
iconic.
hair, if I fuck with my long Cherokee
thanks.
hair, it's terrible. I look like Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Yeah. Not to mention I have a big head, so it helps to have big hair.
There you go. No, I feel you. I have what they call Allman Brothers hair, that it's just straight, and you know it ain't got no body to it. Just you know, it's crap. And even when I grew it out long, I grew my hair out. There was a point I didn't cut my hair for like 4 years, and but I didn't really take care of it either. You know, it had like a lot of split ends and stuff in there, and you know, but I did bleach it one time. One time I colored my hair, and I bleached it, and I looked like a Dollar Tree Billy Idol. It was kind of cool. So.
Yeah, I've never dyed my hair either.
I never did after that either. It was just like, it burns, and it's like, fuck this. Why? And people, I don't understand people who do that all the time. Color their hair all the damn time.
I mean, they have like...
You know what? Those are some toxic ass chemicals. You don't want to be huffing that shit. You know, I feel bad for people that work in beauty salons, because that's actually kind of a hazardous work environment. Huffing them fucking chemicals, dude.
Oh yeah.
It stinks, and if you don't have enough ventilation, it stinks to high heaven.
It really does stink, dude. Like I have to deliver pizzas to beauty salons, and there's some of the two places I least like delivering pizza to would have to be beauty salons and nursing homes.
Yeah.
Nursing homes would be just too depressing for me. You know,
because even if I deliver to a place where they obviously have like 15 cats in one litter box that hasn't been changed in 2 months, that still doesn't even compare to a nursing home. Or I'm going to leave them alone. I'm going to quit harping on it.
No, I've been in a few nursing homes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
John says, natural hair is the best, Glory, and a big old heart for you.
Thanks, John.
Mariana says, I don't dye my hair or blow dry it, but I do want pink hair. Okay, cool. I dig it.
Yeah, rotten eggs. That's what it smells like, John. Rotten eggs.
It does smell like rotten eggs.
Big sulfur.
I tell you, and I wouldn't even got that done. It was like my roommate, a couple of friends of ours that knew how to do that shit. He wanted to get his hair blonde, and he asked me. He said, "You want to get yours too?" And I said, "No, I'm not really into that kind of stuff." But he convinced me, and I said, "All right." And it was fun, you know. I mean, it was nice to have, and then, you know, I'm kind of a brownish red head. These, you know, I used to be like Rick Astley red hair, like fire engine red almost, and now it's just kind of like I look like Rick Astley. If I took my glasses off, I had the same like feathered hair and all that shit. Fucking Rick Astley. Never gonna get. So, but other than that,
I always pictured Uncle Warren with that long Dave Mustaine Megadeth looking hair. You know what I'm saying?
I almost had that. I had to cut it off before the summer though, because this summer was just way too hot and humid here. There's no way I could have kept that long hair. I don't know how I did it for 4 years, but this summer I said, "Fuck it, I'm done with it." So it was great.
Yeah,
it was like.
Well, I'm glad to say I think
when I would get box braids, that would
oftentimes
be the reason.
Yeah, and I cut down my shower time by like 15 minutes too, because I didn't have to fuck with that mop. You know, you got to get it all lathered up. You put the shit in there, and then it takes forever to get the shit out, and you know, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah,
I got shit to do.
Me saying I keep my hair as natural as possible is also an excuse to not have to wash or brush out my hair that often. Because, like, I can wash it, you know, like, every once in a while and have no problem with it. But if I brush it out, like, I have to fucking go through a whole process to do that shit. I can only ever brush my hair out while it's, like, wet, so...
Yeah, I just don't want to fuck with, like,
oh my God, you just reminded me, Glory. I'd almost forgot. I've been saving, like, every time I brush my hair out with my comb, because my hair is all the way down to my belt line now. And so whenever I untie my hair and I comb it out, I have these huge hair balls when I'm done combing. And I've been saving all my hair balls because, you know, where I'm here in West Virginia, over on the other side of West Virginia, is a good friend of mine, Tim Poole, who's been kind enough to let Luke Radowski use his lawn for his camper. WeAreChange.org, shout out. And Tim Poole always wears a beanie on his head. You know, I'm not going to talk about him. Just, I've been saving my hair for you. And once I've got enough hair together, I'm going to send it to him.
Aww.
So he can have his own wig made. Because I care. It's nothing but love.
That's very sweet of you. Big Mad Crab in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see ya. Big Mad Crab.
Big Mad Crab?
Big Mad Crab. Hey, Crab, your music is, some of your music is in this Grand Theft Auto 5, so I got, I think this is Jett that's on right now, so, yeah, guys, if you've never heard any
I got some of my songs, Uncle Warren. I've been doing a lot of music lately, Uncle Warren. You got to get some of my greatest hits in there.
Right on. Okay, yeah. You know what? I was actually going to ask you about that.
Track Life, that's a good one. Yeah.
We'll have to if you can upload them to like a Google Drive or something. I'll download them and I'll put them in the mix. So, you know, I
can just share them with you on Discord here. I normally just share them on Discord because they're less than 8 megs, and so I can give it to you on Discord. You can literally just download it.
Yeah, that's fine. Easy. Whatever's easier for you is fine.
It's only when I try to share. If I send a whole album or something, then yeah, I'll have to give you a Google Drive because then it's big.
Yeah, because all I need is you know, your name and the title of the track, and if there's an album title, you can put that on there. But you know, for the most part, yeah, I'm always looking for independent music too. That nobody's signed with a label or anything, so I can play it on the stream.
And I gotta say, a lot of our other friends have been kind to me, Warren, like Amber and Oz over at War Media. They played a couple of my songs Grand Theft World's played a couple of my songs. I've had 6 songs on Liberty Radio podcast on their iTunes thing. You know, we have a large family and community of independent underground media and content creators here, Warren. I mean, you know, we all kind of spread and show love all around. You know, it's one big family.
Yes, please do send me those, and I will definitely. And if you do it today, I will throw in this Ginsu knife set absolutely free. No, if you do it today, I'll play them on the show tonight, because tonight at midnight Eastern, Jett's going to be on the show, and he's going to take over the show. He's going to just play whatever the fuck he wants, and I'm just going to kick back and enjoy. And but you know what,
Jett, and I'll have to send you that one that I wrote for Redneck Economics, a good friend of ours, good old Stevie, because I wrote a song about Blair Mountain, and you know, basically the song is about the coal mine wars in the 1920s in West Virginia, Battle of Blair Mountain, when the term rednecks was invented and all that stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah, not a lot of people know where the term redneck came from, and they just assume that that's what, you know, ignorant country people have always been called, and it's like, no, it has nothing to do with ignorant country people at all. It has to do with workers. It has to do with hard-working people, you know, and I think that's another thing.
Well, in solidarity with the miners that were killed, they tied red handkerchiefs around their necks for the miners that had died in Mingo County, and for Sid Hatfield. And that's why when they came over the hill on the road from Charleston, West Virginia to Blair Mountain, down there in Boone, West Virginia, Madison and Boone County, it was a newspaper man for the Charleston Gazette that said it was a sea of rednecks that came over the hill. And that's when it went in print, and it, you know.
You say if you say that in 2022, you're gonna scare the shit out of some people. There's a sea of rednecks coming over the hill.
In this case, Warren, we're talking about the year 1920, and most of these coal miners in the year 1920, over half of these men were fresh from returning from having fought in trench warfare during World War I. So these are all battle-tested European trench warfare veterans that come back, and after having fought for their so-called freedoms overseas, come back and have the coal companies with private mercenary gangs shooting them down and killing them in the mines. And, you know, and in the case of my song, the Bull Moose Special, you know, building special armored assassination trains with Gatling guns and, you know, armored death train with snipers inside that they would pull into the coal camps, like they did at Holly Grove when they killed Sesco Estep and other miners and wives and children that were just gunned down in the middle of the night by this death train. I mean, and all of this has been kind of been memory hold. So, you know, I can do a lot of things with my music, but normally when I do songs nowadays, if I take the time to do lyrics or sing lyrics, it's normally to try to either inform of what's going on today or what's going on yesterday, because so much is memory hold now, Warren, and it's not right.
No, I know it's and we need more. I mean, that's basically how it was in the '60s. That's where a lot of great music came out of the '60s, was for the movement, you know. And then, but you know, you looking back on it, what really did they do? Did they stop Vietnam? Maybe, but did they stop imperialism? Hell no. You know, and then a lot of those hippies grew up to be fucking shitlibs, you know, Karen boomers, you know, not cool boomers like John in the chat, but Karen boomers who were really just Republicans. I mean, let's just be honest, they're Republicans. There are no left-leaning people in the government or elected officials. None of them are. But you can't tell.
Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. I never thought Canada could be so inspiring. You know, growing up Canada was always just kind of like the land of polite people. They're always saying, I'm sorry, kind of funny, like, I'm sorry. And you know, they're just cute little frozen people up north, so polite, but kind of boring. But what's happened with the response to Justin Trudeau and mandates and everything, where it led to this freedom convoy and then this really like nationwide festival that culminated in Ottawa as like this just big street party of celebration of like this. I never knew Canadians were that patriotic, but I mean, literally, as this convoy transited from, you know, the Pacific coast of Vancouver, British Columbia, all the way, you know, to the equivalent of like Buffalo, New York, but Ottawa, Ontario, the capital, every overpass and underpass they crossed, the locals with their fire departments and police and families and all were at each bridge with, you know, signs and everything, cheering on this convoy with all the people in the convoy itself. So, you know what I'm saying? It was such an organic thing. It really inspired me. If I could find the lyrics, I wrote a song that's about a 90-second song, but I think it's probably one of the best I ever did. It's just talking about that freedom convoy, which I made videos, but I'll share all that stuff with you.
Right on.
Let me find that lyrics. Part of the lyrics are in French because in Canada, everything, when it comes to selling stuff and the labels and anything that goes out in Canada, you'll know you're buying something that was made in Canada, in the United States, for example, if it has English and French. Because
all right, on
Quebec, yeah.
Ed,
which you
Laney's
probably knew that already.
Hey, Laney Peterson, 99 Perspectives, Art
All
Lids
right.
Media, in the house. Ed Heller, Chicago Corner. We got our Chicago peeps in the house, so I feel a little better about things. So Ed says Karen Boomers
I got
is
a
a
lot of
great
family up
fictional
in
name.
Chicago, so I'm biased for Chicago being the best pizza on earth. But, you know, it's my opinion,
You know
and I'm
what?
sticking to it. I love Chicago pizza. And there's 4 kinds. Laney knows.
I'm gonna fuck Ali Alexandra in the chat.
Who's what? Ali, she's in the chat? What? No, stop lying.
Ali Oxen Fruit. What?
Nothing.
Who?
You didn't hear nothing more. Just keep playing video games. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Laney,
I
I love
see,
you
there
too,
it
sweetie.
is. Sorry.
Don't make fun of Canadians. Come on. That's too easy. Stop it. They're our
My
neighbors,
dad
goddammit.
grew up in Canada, so I have an excuse.
All right,
Wow.
I found my lyrics here.
You have to say your lyrics over the Grand Theft Auto "I'm in a Mission" music. So that should be that should be interesting.
All right, let's see here. Well, they began at Vancouver land, then they headed east for weeks. A convoy sea driving past. Well, wait a second. I can turn this thing around here. Just one thing.
That's a weird lyric.
Because my keyboard is 90 degrees to the screen. Aha! There we go. All right. Here we go. Live on the spot. This song is called Honk, or Pour les francophones. Cette chanson, c'est klaxonner. All right. Pardon my French. Let's see here. Vancouver land, then they headed east for weeks. A convoy sea, driving past flags and applause. Home fills Ottawa, 'cause they wanna be free. Le vent klaxonnait tout plus tard, ouais, citoyen à le beau. Et ça suffit, voisin de porte bidon, d'essence, liberté dans les airs. Oops, sorry with my French there. Liberté dans les airs, forte ambiance, quel esprit. All across the Confederation, the people had enough, and they stand and cheer. Big pharma tyranny all around the nations. Mandates are just too much. Now there's no more fear.
Beauty. Beauty. Very good, Yona. Yeah, please do. Send me some music so I'll put on the show tonight for the secret show.
Well, I'll send over the YouTube video with that song because I found the most awesome video where I was able to sync, you know, the actual events that the song's talking about with live on the ground video throughout, you know. That way it's like a time capsule of, you know, what happened then, so that we don't forget.
Hey, hey, Crab, that was Yona. Yona was playing that song there. It was very good. You're a very good piano player. Yeah, no Nightbot on this show, Ed. We just, you know, we give Nightbot a night off. I don't even know if Nightbot's on the secret show or not either. I know it's on the main show, but
well, you know it was live because I fucked up one of the lines in French because, you know, it's hard to just go straight into French.
Yeah, and I totally knew that too because, you know, I'm fluent in French there, Yona. So yeah, do better, you know.
The sweet Louis, je ne sais quoi. Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu. Étouffé.
Welcome to French.
It's like a switch that you have to scroll inside your head, man.
Tout le monde. That's my favorite. I love me some tout le monde. Hey, Pedro, you going to go down there with Boudreaux down to the bayou. You gonna go get the guitar.
The funniest thing is Canadian French has their own cuss words. And Canadian French is already like pirate French. It's called Québécois.
French
and it's
Canadian.
Totally different from like Parisian French. Couldn't be more different. It's the
French Canadians be all like, ah, we sacre bleu, we are the real French people. We came here, we never change. So yeah.
No, they're more like, duh.
And now they speak.
Let me tell you something
French,
about
like
the
they
French.
sound like Caribbean pirates.
Duh, let me tell you about the European.
All the French I ever learned, I learned from Pepe Le Pew, the cat rapist. So that's about as much French as I know, and then a little bit of some Cajun shit down south, but now I can't even remember that. So Mariana says, "Ton chanson c'est magnifique, Yona," and Ed says,
Merci beaucoup.
And Ed says, "Mise en place, mother Frenchers." So I don't know what that means. I think that might be what we call Franglish. A friend of mine, she talks to her mother in Chinglish. So they'll be Chinese for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it's like they'll say Aldi's, or it'll be Chinese, and then all of a sudden it's Target or Walmart or something like that, and you're like, oh, okay. So or she'll say something like
they actually do that. Well, not Chinglish, but like in Bollywood they do that because they'll speak like Hind English or Punjablish or
It's like when you listen to the military speak, they'll be like Tumeri Dushman Ho, AK-47 and Tomahawk missiles and all this shit, and then they go back.
Right, and then the rest of it's like, in Hindi or whatever, and it's like, oh, come on, you're just cheating. You're like.
I know, because it's like I'll be watching like a Bollywood romance movie, and the couple will be having like a whole conversation like Tamil or something like that, and it'll be like, okay, I love you, by the way, and it's like, what?
Yona man naam hai, smoke him or weed hai.
I managed
and
to
they do that sometimes in anime too, where the things are English.
All right. Yeah, it's that's funny. I just think that's crazy. You're just like, also you're hearing like whatever language it is, and then all of a sudden, yeah, that's cool. Let's go get French fries, and then then whatever that language is again, and you're like, really? Where you got to throw? You can't. There's no word for French fries. What are you doing?
French
maybe there
fries,
is.
French.
Or like they know what the word for French fries is, but they can't remember at the time, so they just say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna say French fries." So
I know.
She said, Mariana says, Franglish. I speak more Spanglish now than I ever did as a kid. Spanglish too. I've noticed a lot of like Puerto Rican folks around here will do that too. They'll speak Spanish, and then all of a sudden,
I'm fluent.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of shit.
Spanglish.
And then right back to Spanish. You're like,
they'll be like, "Ay, coño, su puta madre! The fuck is your problem, bro?"
I'll do that sometimes too. I'll go like, "Ay, que rico, Dios mío! Oh, where's the Taco Bell? I'm hungry."
Bro, the Miami thing is like they'll say the phrase in Spanish or like whatever dialect or whatever Latin dialect, and then they'll repeat it again in English. They'll be like, "Oh, bro, que lo que? What's up with you, bro?"
Right?
The funniest thing to me, there's this guy on YouTube.
I do it all the time.
He has his own YouTube channel, this big chunky Mexican guy, and he does all these remixes of popular songs out, but sings them with the accent, like, and then he has subtitles like, where it's like literally like spelled out in Spanish what he's saying, and it's I'm not doing it justice with my description, but like,
it's
hilarious.
Sorry, I was reading Mariana's chat. She said exactly, "Glory tu sabes." That's the thing down in Miami.
Tu sabes,
ya tu sabes, mano.
My favorite one of all has got to be, oh my god, OMAIGA, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god, son.
Now, to a certain extent, and I think Yona may be able to back me up on this. We probably both know people who have really thick Southern accents, so thick that it does sound like it's another language. And but every once in a while you'll hear a word that you understand, kind of like the Boomhauer thing from King of the Hill, but a lot worse.
That's Jamaican people.
And then all of a sudden you hear like, "Yeah, we was up there at the Walmart and I got a dang thing, beer old Burt and I can do them." You're like, "What the fuck? The fuck you just get those marbles out of your mouth, dude."
Gainesville in a nutshell, bro. That's Gainesville.
Gainesville, Florida. Oh, Florida, hell yeah.
Yeah. They're called crackers down there, Florida crackers.
Gators.
But oh shit, who's it? Oh,
yeah,
that's
it.
Yeah, you might want to equip some weapons there, Warren.
I would have to root for the Hurricanes and then the Seminoles, and then I still wouldn't root for the Gators. Sorry, Florida.
Absolutely not. I'm with you 100% on that, Yona. You will never catch me cheering for the Gators. I don't care. Like, Canes are first. Fuck the Seminoles, but if they're playing the Gators, then I'm a Seminoles fan for the day. Like,
see, Glory gets it.
Well, I'll never pull for the.
The whole point is fuck the Gators.
I won't pull for the Gators either because I went to Mississippi State, and that's SEC. You pull for Florida, that's stupid.
Go Bulldogs. Go Mississippi State Bulldogs. We're
That's
talking
right,
about
Hail State.
I'm pretty sure Mississippi State is in Starksville, buddy. Starksville, Mississippi.
That's right. We called it Stark Vegas. I love that place. But now a buddy of mine, he lives down there still, and he said, yeah, it's just so it's expensive in Mississippi. Shit is fucked up when when rents are high in Mississippi. So that's why I want to get that.
Oh, I got your problem solved, Warren. Don't worry about high rent. Just get you a cheap place in Jackson. I hear rents are lower there these days. I don't know why.
I don't need water. I don't need clean water. That's for rich people and snobs.
Don't worry. Chokeway's going to get it worked out for you, buddy.
I told you that I've been watching these videos on YouTube about converting box trucks into like RVs and stuff like that. I think that's what I want to do. I want to get like some sort of RV that I can live in and park it down by the river because I want to live in a van down by the river. And but no, like something you can take anywhere. Like if you don't want to stay in one place, you could just take off. Or if you do want to stay in one place for a while, you go get like go buy a little piece of land somewhere. You don't even need like that much, maybe like a quarter of an acre or something. You park the thing on there, and you got a quote unquote home, so, but rents, there's no way I'll ever own a home. That is never going to happen unless I win the lottery. There's no way I'm ever going to own a home. So I'll always be a renter. So I figured, fuck it, if I'm going to do that.
You need to open up like a Club Med type beach resort up on the North Shore of Alaska on the Arctic and just wait for climate change to finish doing its thing.
You're right. Or I guess you could buy, actually, if you bought property in Jackson and just waited, once that ice shelf in Antarctica melts and that basically is the size of Florida.
Yeah, beachfront property.
Yes, bro. Yeah. Hey, I am 100% rooting for Florida to go underwater. Like, I'm all for it. I already know all the places I'm finna go to loot all their shit. Like, like the moment Star Island goes on the water, I'm finna be there with my my bootleg ass scuba diving license, just like fucking Port Royal before they had to protect it as a freaking UNESCO World Heritage Site. Like,
I know, right? And it'll be like that.
Hey, Warren, do you know the story of that? Do you know the story about Port Royal, the pirate town that got put under
I'll give you all a quick run through. So I don't know if you ever had a Captain Morgan rum, but basically the reason why Captain Morgan is so famous was because Henry Morgan was, I believe, no, he actually wasn't the first official governor of Jamaica, but he was one of the earliest governors of Jamaica, and he was so famous because he was a privateer, and he basically led a bunch of like pirating expeditions commissioned by the British to go and raid like Spanish targets all around the Caribbean, and then that piracy sponsored by the British made like the island of Jamaica so fucking rich because these pirates would just loot the shit out of everything and then give their share back to the British monarchy and the local government, and then they would just sit in Port Royal and get fucking wasted and like get some hookers or whatever, and basically profited so much off of that until one year a huge earthquake happened and the entirety of Port Royal went underwater.
Jesus.
So,
yeah.
How big was the island?
Knocked the buildings over. The earthquake not only knocked the buildings over, but it also caused a massive tsunami that then came over because, like, you know what a barrier island is, Warren? It was like a little isthmus strip that went out there where everything was built on it, a peninsula. And this big tsunami wave came over and put it under. People thought it was lost and gone forever, but they've actually found it, and you can go snorkeling there and tour Port Royal. It's just under like 20 feet of water.
Yeah, I mean, and people talk shit about Atlantis, and it's like, well, no, shit like this happens a lot. You know, you can lose an island under the ocean, you know, if under the right circumstances. You know, I'm not saying, you know, I'm not like a super, like, oh yes, there definitely is an Atlantis, but you know, once those ice sheets melt, and then Atlanta, Georgia goes underwater, it's just going to be like that episode of Futurama where it's the lost city of Atlanta. I love that because they had the Coke plant that was leaking Coke underwater, and they were all like mermaids, but they had redneck accents. It was great. I love it. It was like, hey y'all, welcome to the lost city of Atlanta.
Kind of the beauty of Port Royal is the reason why they had to make they essentially made Port Royal a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I'm pretty sure that's what they call those things. But one of the reasons why they did that is because a bunch of people kept going there and looting the shit out of it. So they had to protect it to keep people from looting it. So now it's more like a tourist thing.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's going to be me if Florida gets underwater. I'm gonna loot the shit out of it before they can protect it. Like,
Gloria, I'm gonna tell you right.
No offense to Halle Berry as a black mermaid in The Little Mermaid. I would love to see a redneck mermaid that chews tobacco underwater. I think they can. I mean, they can animate like a cartoon for redneck Ariel, can't they? We'll call her Ariel Sally Mae Becca because you know she's got to have 4 names.
You'd have to call her like Amber. You got to call her Amber or something because like half the South half the women in the South are named Amber or Crystal. So
Amber Sue Becca Lee. Ariel Sue Amber Becca Lee. There you go.
Yeah, a Becca or a Rebecca. Throw one of those in there.
Give me that Becky, bro.
Yeah, Becca. Who you going to prom with? Amber? Which one? There's like 10 of them. Oh no.
It gives a whole new meaning to Amber Alert. I'm telling you.
Hello, this is Pegasus Lifestyle Management. How can I help?
Oh, bro, that's actually so ironic that you mentioned Amber Alert and the phone rings.
Call again. Goodbye.
Don't tell me what to do, woman. I got my own life. Huh? No. Which is, you know what's ironic is like, so me and Yona are Southerners, but and you can hear the accent in both of us. You know, but with Glory, she lives the furthest south of all of us, and she doesn't have the redneck accent. How come you never picked up a redneck accent?
Because I don't. Like it. Okay, if I came from like
South Florida's different.
If I came from Davie or maybe or Southwest Ranches or a place like that, then I would have the accent. But it's because I'm around like Broward and Dade County, and I'm not specifically isolated. I mean, I'm pretty close to the swamp actually, but like I'm not isolated within the pockets of rednecks. So I never like developed the Southern accent because growing up I was always closest to like Latino and Caribbean culture. So if anything, so my accent, like my natural voice is just like this. And if anything, like my accent gets closest to sometimes Miami accent. It's been developing more since I graduated and I haven't gone back to LA. Like I find myself using bro a lot more.
You do say bro a lot. I've noticed that. It's like, bro.
It's the curse of Miami. Like because in Miami people will bro their own moms. So it's like in Miami it's bro, but like bro. And then in Caribbean you have it's brudda. So it's like wagwan brudda or in, you know, freaking I don't know, and now you have the bruh too coming from like Black American lingo where it's like bruh. And then you also have the UK version of that or whatever they call it where it's like bruv. And bruv is just fun to say, so I started saying it. So there's just, so like between the cross cultural mixing or whatever you like, the cultural diffusion there. There's just so many different bros to go around that I can't help myself.
For me, where I've done radio, I've always distinguished between what I consider like my Yona broadcast voice and my normal voice that I would speak around here in, Appalachia. But, sometimes people want to hear that. I read poetry in my native tongue. That was my first language. My first language weren't no Kang in English. I can tell you right there. But, it's sadly, I was in a poetry group on a Discord server here. And I won first place 2 weeks in a row. And then the third week I thought, you know what? I've got this one poem called Like I Said, Bless Ye Heart. And so I did the song, Like I Said, Bless Your Heart.
I remember that one, Like I Said.
Yeah, Like I Said. And I got done with it. And one of them was like, wow, I thought Yona was smart. I was like,
oh my God, no.
What? Yeah, I left the group, so.
Aww.
I didn't know you did radio, Yona. That's pretty cool. You said you did radio?
I like the hell out of some. Yeah, I was on WRSM 690 and let's see. It was just AM radios, although the last one I did was AM and FM because it was WLSK 11 Springfield. But yeah, back in 91 and 92, last radio gig I had was in 2003.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did radio in the early '90s when I was in college. So I did it at Mississippi State somewhere, and somewhere around there too. There was a classic rock station I was at, and did a little some towards South Mississippi too. But that's the thing too. It's like whenever you're doing not country radio, you kind of get that whatever accent you have. Yeah, you're exactly right. It's like you have two voices. It's like you have your regular voice that you talk to everybody with, and then you have your radio voice that's kind of like your money maker, more or less. Like I knew this guy. His name was John Thomas.
It's really starting
white voice essentially.
Like when you go back and forth in the studio between talking with locals in the local vernacular, and then the red light turns back on. It's like, okay, back to covering Southeastern Conference sports, or whatever.
Well, that's the equivalent of putting on the white voice, where it's just like, okay, I have to make sure that I pronounce everything the right way, and I overpronounce my T's when I report on everything.
I know what you're talking about.
What's that Boots Riley?
What's
that
white
Boots Riley
voice
movie, Glory? Boots Riley, where they have to use the white voice. It's got Danny Glover.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you. Yeah,
that dude straight up comes out and he's like, "Hi, my name's Carl" or something like that. I don't know.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like the white voice always sounds.
I can put on a decent robot news host white voice if I wanted to, but it's too slow for me. It goes too slow for me. I'm like, bruh, let me just get to my point and go turbo speed with my point, and like I'll get a little like nerd cadence to my voice when I talk on slow news day sometimes, but I can't do the whole like, hi everyone, my name's Glory Jones and welcome back to Slow News Day. Today I'm gonna be reporting on the situation in Ukraine for the 57th time, and I'm going to interview this COVID scientist that you've already heard from 88 times this week. I'm really looking forward to you guys to see it. That's all. Make sure you guys catch me on Slow News Day. Glory Jones here, and I'll see you all next time. Like, fuck that shit, bro. I'm trying to get people their points in it. Like, fucking, let's go.
Crab said he did radio at Rutgers University. Yeah, it is fun. I enjoyed radio. It was the shittiest paying job I ever had, but it was like one of the best jobs I ever had as well. And I gotta tell you, Glory, like, I mean, no offense, but every person of color that ever tried to do a white person voice, they always sound like they're from Minnesota. I don't get it.
No,
I don't understand it. It's like,
because the standard white voice is the Midwestern voice.
That is true, though.
Standard white
That is
voice
true.
to do is the standard Midwestern voice, because you can't do the Southern voice because that's too redneck, and you can't do the Northeast voice because it's too assholey. It's like, hey yo, what's up? I'm from Jersey. Or like,
that's how I got my job when I was teaching English. I taught English in Ecuador for 2 years.
I just needed to say Jersey. I'm sorry.
Jersey.
Just to say
Joycey.
The boss lady that gave me my job.
Oh no!
She hired me because she said she looked at the map and saw that Kentucky was in the Midwest, and then when in the interview she asked me what accent do I speak, and I said Midwestern English. It's the standard English, and that's why I got the job over the other 3 people, because that is the standard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sadly, the guy from Jersey
didn't do like Californian and you can't do Californian or Western or West or like West American English either, because then you just sound like a surfer bro asshole. Where it's like, yeah, bruh.
Right.
It's so cool, bruh.
Or a valley girl, where you sound like a valley girl gagging with the spoon.
And like.
Like
and like I found this, and like I found this too, and yeah. So that's
did you hear Joe Biden go off Valley Girl? Joe Biden had a speech the other day where Joe Biden dropped about 25 knows in less than 2 minutes. It was
the near tandem special.
I got a pants load of shit, where's Kamala? Sorry, I can't do it.
Uncle Warren, I just imagine the Secret Service guys are all playing like rock, paper, scissors as to who has to change the next diaper. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, talk about a beef patty in the pants, man. That's no good. That is no good.
You got to chase Joe Biden down because he's out there doing the robot or shaking hands with invisible people again.
Yeah,
you got to rein him in and
air.
him down.
Yeah, he is. He's like, he's getting into Mr. Burns country, where it's just like senile and just talking shit. It's like that.
Like
what do they say?
Magoo on the bicycle.
What's the saying? The emperor has no clothes. And it's like, that's the thing. It's the same shit. They know he's out of his fucking gourd, but they won't say it. Oh no, he's totally fine. He's great. It's like, oh yeah, talk to him after like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Let's see how he sounds then. Huh?
I got to give sincere thanks and gratitude out to that nursing mother who had an infant there right on standby when President Biden fell over on his bike and hit his head on the curb. She was able to get her little infant right down underneath his nose. He took one sniff, right back up on his feet. Thank God. Thank God she was there.
God damn, Yoda, you went like to hell and back all the way around the earth just to do a hair sniffing joke. Come on, man. What the hell?
That's
it was
right.
good though. I appreciate it. I do appreciate a good
That's right.
joke. TMI Ed? Yeah, it probably was. So this guy that keeps like hitting me with his car, I think he thinks I'm getting pissed off, but I'm not even really paying attention. I'm just kind of like rolling around here and just doing my thing. So
that's how I deal with road rage. For some people, they see the Pizza Hut topper on the roof of my car, and they're like, ha 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 ha. What's up with the pizza guy? Water off the duck's back. I'm too high to be worried about that. You're gonna make me drop my weed between my legs again. Quit that shit.
Yeah, when I was, I don't drive anymore, right? I haven't driven in 20 years, and when I did drive, though, I don't have a tolerance for ignorant, dumb motherfuckers when I'm on the sidewalk. I damn sure don't have any tolerance for them going 60, 70 miles an hour have a lot of rage, a lot of road rage and stuff like that. But that was before I started smoking pot. I started smoking pot, shit started leveling out. I didn't have the road rage anymore, but, you know. But now we gotta, you know, we gotta keep it a Schedule 1, you know, because reasons, you know. But anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want to go up in the mountains, grow me a little stash for myself, and then, you know, just be live and let live, do my little show, talk to everybody. Y'all want to come visit me? I would, man. I'd love to go. I bet you got like beautiful country around where you're at, Yono, right up in the
mountains.
Oh,
yeah, West Virginia is wonderful. Unless, you know, the only problem with West Virginia and eastern Kentucky around here, southern Ohio area where the 3 states meet, is if you get into one of those mountaintop removal zones where they've finished strip mining for coal, then it kind of looks like on the moon. It's like a lunar scape.
Yeah, that looks
really strange.
And it's so sad the way they just like tear up the environment like that too. You know, that's such beautiful country. You got the you're in Mothman country, right?
Yeah. The Mothman is actually just up the river from us, about 15 miles upriver in Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant.
It's rumored that Mothman caused the bridge to collapse, and after all, that's why Texas Department of Transportation has put the kibosh on the new Corpus Christi Harbor Bridge, because there's cracks in the construction, and they said that the piers are insufficient to support the weight of the bridge, and it's in danger of immediate collapse if they should continue construction. So, you know.
Well, now some people were saying that the Mothman was more of a harbinger, like a kind of like a warning, right? Like, because not only was he seen on the bridge at the time that it happened, that the bridge collapsed, but he was seen like in other parts of Point Pleasant too, particularly around the ammunition,
at the old military base.
The old ammunition plant. Right, like that people had seen them out there.
What they don't talk about is, okay, the reason why there's a Mothman, there was an old World War II ammunition plant where they had chemical biological weapons studies there, which, you know, has nothing to do with stuff like today, you know. I mean, what's happened in the last 3 years that would involve a BSL lab? Anyways, so they had one of those there at Point Pleasant where they were doing experiments on moths and other bugs, and that's where the whole legend of the Mothman came about, that the Army made this freak hybrid that's able to time travel and then warn people, and 15-foot wingspan and beady red eyes.
Did you know? I mean, pilots pilots in Chernobyl, like the helicopter pilots, you know, that were like throwing sand and stuff on the on the reactor. The ones that lived said that they had seen something while, you know, because they're like the smoke's billowing up from the reactor, right? So, and as the helicopters got closer and closer to the to it, you know, the smoke would get thicker, and they said they saw like shit flying around or something flying around in the smoke. And it, you know, it could have been a Mothman, maybe not the Mothman, but it could have been a Mothman. So I find that stuff. I'm very into that stuff.
West Virginia legend. Now, this is just what I've heard here locally, but I mean, I'm right here at Mothman Central, and Mothman comes from a family. There are siblings. Yeah, and you know, Mothman is not the only supernatural. I don't know if you see, Mothman's kind of a superhero. He's not really a monster, and please don't refer to Mothman as a monster. He doesn't like that. He has feelings too. He prefers supernatural beings. But anyways, Mothman is just one of 4 major supernatural. I will call them superheroes. And remember, Jonas, your friend, all 4 of them. But anyway, back to you, boy.
Well, I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
I don't want to dance my local supernaturals. You know, I want to be respectful to my local supernaturals. They're on a level even higher than the High Yona. So, you know, props.
I don't fuck with none of that. It's that supernatural shit. Like, somebody will say, like, something exists. I'll be like, okay, sure. I believe you. But, you know, I believe in all that kind of stuff. Like, you know, UFOs, ghosts, all that shit. You know.
And don't get me started on the Sam Squatches and the Sasquatches. You know, just eat the damn beef jerky and go on about it. Don't mess with Sasquatches.
Goddamn.
You're not ready for Yeti. Trust me. You're not ready for Yeti.
Jimmy says Mothman is a superhero. In the movie, he was just trying to warn the people the bridge was going to break. Yeah, because he usually shows up before shit happens. There's always a sighting of him somehow, and then the shit goes down, and then you never see the dude again, right? Or at least not in that same spot.
Remember that movie Final Destination, where one of them could see the future and then was trying to warn the others? See?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Bruh.
This guy just, I don't
Jimmy?
know, this rando.
Why don't you play Grand Theft Auto?
Who, Jimmy? I think, well, we tried to do that. We were actually gonna do a stream together playing Grand Theft Auto, but we can't play together because she has PlayStation and I'm playing this on computer, and they don't do cross-platform. So, but I bet you once 6 comes out,
I've said this before. We've already.
Huh?
I just said deja vu. Last time I was on your stream, I asked the same goddamn question.
And I probably answered it the same goddamn way too.
Yeah, I literally got deja vu as you were answering.
That's why it's deja vu. All over again, Yogi Berra.
Exactly. No, but we tried, so, but we found a game that we can actually play together, and hopefully we can get, there's this game called No Man's Sky. We can both play that together, so we're gonna try and, get that worked out sometime in the future. But she's kind of got her own thing going on right now. GTA is boring. Is that when GTA is free on PC, she'll get it. Yeah.
Damn.
It's. Well, I mean, God, it's been out for what, almost 10 years? Jesus.
You guys need to play Stumble Guys with us. It's free on Steam on computer. It's really fun.
Wait, what game is that?
I mean, it may have been out.
It's called Stumble Guys. It's like Fall Guys, but they're like cute little rubbery guys. So the way that they run and stuff is just really fun. We're like addicted to it now. It's a fun game, and it's free. It's on Steam. It's called Stumble Guys.
Okay.
I think Fall Guys though is on PlayStation and is cross-platform.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fall Guys is cross-platform too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this game.
You know,
came out
Uncle
so
Warren,
long
that
ago.
11-year-old.
Yo, Stumble Guys is lit.
Still
Sorry, just had to interject to say that.
my computer. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, right now I'm coming at you live on my 1998 compact Presario with the 3.5-inch floppy disk drive.
Yeah, baby.
That's right. Still works.
It's straight ass because like mine doesn't even have a disk drive. They fucking took disk drives away. Sons of bitches.
Yeah. Now you're lucky to have a CD-ROM thingy.
Wait, what game system is this?
I'm talking about my
Commodore
PC.
64.
I had a Commodore VIC-20 growing up. It wasn't cross-platform. It had a whole 5K of RAM in it too. What? Name dropping?
That's right.
It's
alright though, I can get 300 I can get 360 kilobytes on these 5 1/4 inch floppies because I can flip them over.
Oh, fuck that
That's
up.
right, and they're actually floppy.
Jimmy said she has a 2002 Toshiba laptop that burns CDs. I used to burn so many CDs, man. God love Napster before fucking Metallica became bitches.
I got a CD burner.
It's jazz bands like that.
I can make my own albums, and I will have to.
I have a CD-ROM, but I just don't, have it hooked up to the computer. I got it somewhere around here, but I guess if somebody sent me a CD or something, I could plug it in and make it work, but, damn, shit's changed so much over the last...
Don't use the CD-ROM manual because it will send all your data in.
You stupid, Poppy! Why you say that, you stupid? Oh, shit.
And shout out to Lori Lightfoot. I gotta say, shout out to Lori Lightfoot. Beetlejuice and E.T. are so proud of you, honey. You're doing a great job in Chicago.
I want Gordon Lightfoot to run for mayor of Chicago because I'm a big fan of his. Anyway,
you got the real Lightfoot in.
The real one, the Canadian guy. Only Canadians know who Gordon Lightfoot is.
Dude, he's good.
I want to see Captain Canuck take over for Just a Turdo.
JT, love that guy.
I tell you, I love Gordon Lightfoot. My sister used to. She had Gord's Gold on 8-track, and we listened to the fuck out of that thing. It was great.
Chris driving.
Fucking. I don't know. I just hooked up with this dude in this crazy pink car. We have like this bizarre relationship. It seems like he won't kill me. Well, he did kill me once, but he won't kill me. And he just wants me to ride around with him while he does all this crazy shit. And I'm like, okay, sure. Maybe he needs a friend. Like the last time. Hey, Prop, you remember the last time we played and we made a friend? Remember that kid? He was like in, I don't know, he was in junior high or high school or something. He was a really nice kid. That's when Les Bones was on here too. Yeah, remember? That was a while back.
That's a trip.
Though.
I can't remember.
I don't know if it was the last time we did this or not, but I think it was. Yeah, because the first time I did one of these streams, I couldn't get the audio from Discord to work, so I could hear you, but nobody else could hear you. And then the second time we did it, everybody else could hear you. So, and that's when we met up with that kid. Yeah, he was a really nice kid. So,
Jesus, that sounds terrible.
He was a fun kid.
Well, you're in you managed to take over the indestructible Psycho car there, Warren.
Take his car and run.
This is Kiju.
Drive it like a son.
I don't think Kiju would like it if I took his ride.
Skin.
I'm gonna take this car.
Do it.
Whatever this is.
The DeLorean.
Yeah, it looks like if Prince owned the DeLorean.
Extra Bulla, what do you think about fucking Ricky Berwick?
Who? I don't know who that is.
Ricky Berwick.
Is
He's
he
just
Canadian?
the best YouTuber. He is.
Not. Is he? I've been watching.
Yeah.
Ricky Berwick is as Canadian as maple syrup on a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Jesus. That may be a little too Canadian, if that's even possible. But I started listening. I haven't heard him lately, but I was listening to those Canadian. That was it. Oh fuck! What is it called? Something Maverick Media or something. Whenever the truckers were striking up there, they
the Rebel
like,
Media or whatever.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah,
I heard those.
Yeah,
guys.
they're fucking. They're kind of like. They're like MAGA. Like that's
They
like
are.
that's like
It's like
Canada,
Canadian
like
MAGA.
Ben Shapiro. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like they'll come to protests, like Palestine protests, and like shit on Palestinians and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not really down with rebel media, but I'll watch them. Like, if their information's information, but like, beware of the rebel media.
That's what I was watching them was. I mean, I haven't watched them since, but yeah, for the reasons you mentioned, you know, they started shitting on everything else. That was like, nah. I was in solidarity with you as a striking trucker, but if you're just gonna shit on people, no thanks, you know. But while it was a good source of information.
I'm with you there, Morgan. I was watching the same channel and the same thing happened to me, and it was really disappointing. It's kind of like what happened to me with Democracy Now! And Amy Goodman. They just fell off, man.
Well, it's a lot like PYT with Standing Rock. Like, they put out some good coverage on Standing Rock, but do I like TYT? Oh, hell no. but I watched it or whatever.
We'll bring it at full circle.
Gordon Charlatan in the game.
Yeah, bringing it full circle. Speaking of anxiety and depression, you know, it's like you really. That's why you can't put 100% faith in anybody, really, particularly people who are making content, you know, on the internet, because people tend to have this to change. You know, they'll do some good stuff in the past that you agreed with, but then they'll start doing this crazy shit out of fear or whatever, and you're just like, dude, what happened to you? I can't. That's got to be the catchphrase for 2022.
It's the fear of irrelevancy.
It's got to be the slogan of 2022 is, dude, what happened to you? What the fuck happened to you? Right? And you could say that about so many fucking people. Like, dude, what happened to you? Who got to you? Who gave you Kool-Aid? Who did this to you? You know? And it just, you're just so pissed because you like, yes, you were doing such great work, and now it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's very disheartening. So,
yeah.
You know, I am very leery of putting my full faith and trust in anybody these days, you know, so, because as the sun rises, a new day dawns, and who knows what kind of fuckery will happen since the last time you talked to somebody or the last time you heard them or whatever, you know. So, yeah, like you said, TYT, I'm pretty sure he's always been a scumbag, but at least they were doing some decent work back in the day. And same with Charlatan, and probably some of these other cats too. You know, hell, you can even say that about Ben Dixon. Ben Dixon, that, you know, runs with that Sam Shitter
or whatever, was doing all right work at one point.
He was. I mean, he
was. Emma Biglin was going through WikiLeaks documents and like exposing the Clintons and shit.
Right.
Next thing you know, Emma Biglin's a fucking, you know, jank fucking toady.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. What the fuck happened to you? Right? That's you know, and that's why you could tell.
Well, they had to think about their career, Warren. They're having a career moment right now, so you'll just have to excuse them. Their career is just doing awesomer now.
Do you think that's what it is? You think, like, as like content creators and so supposed journalists get more attention and more fame, that's the thing that does them in as far as like their integrity is concerned?
Yep, it's called selling the fuck out, my good friend.
Well, you get that Katzenberg cash, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be the same person. So, yeah. Yep. So
once that check clears the bank, start sucking, and then what do you know? You're swallowing it. But hey, the checks keep clearing the bank. So,
I tell you, that's why I love doing shit. I love doing my little shows on the weekend. I love doing these little gaming shows, you know, hanging out with pals. And, you know I'm never going to be a big YouTube creator, and I don't want to be. I really don't care about that kind of stuff. I just enjoy doing this with no pressure. You know, I have to worry about sponsors. I don't have to worry about curtailing content to appease, you know, some money bags. You know, fuck that. You know, do what you want to do.
And then you're going to meet and kill people. That's where it's at.
And you never know when you're going to take a fucking dirt nap,
the only thing that's giving me any anxiety anxiety. The only real anxiety and depression that I felt, not even depression really, just a little bit of anxiety. You know, I got excited when I first got to talk with Shane Coughlin on the phone last Christmas Eve with the opportunity to start writing a history column for, well, at that time it was KRTD Media, now it's Kerberos, whatever. Point being, you know, I was on this, writing this high, but thinking about it that I was just like a free agent and I'm still going to do my own show on my own YouTube channel and put out my own content and make my own music without using an agent again, and just go completely independent, solo dolo. That way I'm free to make whatever music or do whatever the fuck I want. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the only anxiety came in to when more than one party tried to corral me into a certain brand and start using brand and pretty much, you know, wear clothes like a NASCAR driver. And I was just like, you know, it's not a tug of war because no one owns me and I'm independent and I'm going to cover whatever topics I want. There is no master. There is no boss of the Yona. I'm going to say whatever I want to say and sing whatever I want to sing.
Damn right.
And, you know,
damn
I'm not in a stable. And that became the real beef between me and some of my former compatriots on the live streams. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't have a grudge. I just keep on my vibe and keep making new music and new shows. I've moved on. I don't dwell on just what I consider to be, you know, sophomoric, juvenile stuff about who gets to sit at what junior high cafeteria picnic table. I mean, you know, I'm on a higher level than that.
No,
you know, for me, all of my content is about just being original and being true to myself. It's not about trying to build a Yona brand or gain more fans or anything. If you like it, great. If you don't, I'm still high. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to say smoke more weed. You know what you're going to get with the Yona. You know what I'm saying?
You should put that on a t-shirt. If you don't like it, great. Or if you like it, great. If you don't like it, I'm still high. That is fucking awesome. Dude, look, don't sell out, but you gotta have merch. You gotta have some Yona merch, dude. You gotta, look, if somebody is, you gotta have somebody wearing that shirt around town that says, you know, I'm still high.
Well, I've already got slogans and like Yona visuals ready to go on t-shirts, buddy. You know,
there you go. Right on. Hey man, that's not selling out. You're just like, you're using your creativity to make a little money. So, you know, you pay your bills and stuff like that. When you're taking millions of dollars from a billionaire, that's selling out. Okay. But, you know, trying to take care of yourself, you know, and if you got a family, you know, you're trying to make a little money to just live. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think, you know, maybe some people got a problem with it, but it does, you know, until you can find a place where you're self-sustained, like you've got a roof over your head that you don't have to pay rent, you know, you can grow your own food, you can do whatever, get off the grid. Yeah, you know, but until then, sometimes you got to do a little something to make, you know, so you can have those, you know, so you can have that, what is it, oh, fuck, damn it, I had a joke ready and I fucked it up. Goddamn stoner brain. Anyway, fuck it.
Circle back, Jett. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Kareem Jean-Pierre now.
I was going to circle back to sauerkraut, and then I fucked it up because I couldn't remember the fucking sauerkraut because I'm stupid. Anyway, holy shit, that was a drop.
Smoke more weed.
What happened?
Smoke more weed.
Yeah, smoke more weed.
Smoke more weeds.
But yeah,
that's weeds with 3.
I mean, I love doing this shit, and I want to be able to, like, I'll tell you my dream. This is my little mini dream, is to have like a decent sized little RV for myself that I can go places and, you know, maybe have like a little satellite uplink kind of thing for internet so I could do shows on the road and stuff like that. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org has with his RV with all that stuff right there in Tim
Oh, he does
front
that?
yard.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I would do that, man. I would totally
Shout out
do that.
WeAreChange.org.
I encourage anybody. It's like, look, if you're young and if you're able to save up a little money, get yourself an RV, hit the road, man. I know gas is a bitch, but still, man, that freedom, it's scary because you don't have the security of a brick and mortar home or whatever, but still, your freedom is just amazing. You just go to campgrounds across the country and just hang out and just whatever. That's kind of, I'm at the stage of my life. That's what I want to do. I'm tired of giving my money to the man. I want to give it to this man, me, and turn it into an RV. So anyway,
man.
I'm a man. But yeah, I want nothing to do with this bullshit that's going on right now. This cancel culture bullshit. This whole nobody gives a fuck about anybody, and the ones that do are being shadow banned and hidden and deleted and censored. Fuck that. Go the mountains. Have a wonderful time in the mountains. And just ride out the apocalypse.
Hear me? Hit the like button, would you?
Yeah! I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out today. You guys here in Discord, but everybody in chat too. It's just, I just woke up this morning, said, let's have a little hangout. I didn't see anybody else was live, at least anybody I knew was live, so I said, fuck it, we'll just go live, play a little GTA 5, talk about anxiety, depression, maybe we all have our little stories we want to share, and, when you get those things out...
I would like to think... I make fun of Hunter Biden, and I'm not the only person that's made fun of Hunter Biden over his crack smoking and general coke and whoredom. But we have to think that Hunter Biden has probably suffered a lot of trauma. I mean, after all, we found out that he has his dad, who is the current President of the United States of America, Joe Biden. Anyways, his dad in contacts is listed as Pedo Pete. So dare I say, God forbid, if Joe Biden in fact made Hunter Biden suck his dick as a boy, probably, just saying,
We're getting dark. That's dark,
probably
man.
one of the reasons why he's smoking so much crack. Just maybe.
For like a split second, you just made me imagine in my head Joe Biden's penis, and I hate you forever now. So, nah, I'm kidding. I got over it real quick. But still, that's gross, dude. That's fucking awful. Hey, look,
so I wrote this song that my friend here, Gonzalo Lira, actually even learned the chords too. And I'll just read the words for this one, unless you want to hear the music, but maybe later, because I got weed to smoke right now. But here's the words. I got this new job, thanks to my pop. 80 grand a month, and the champagne don't stop. The coke and the whores, widows of love, charisma gas energy, the fart-ripping dove. Brother Bo's dead, his old lady gives me head. Cell phones and laptops record what was said. And Ashley Blazer too, Pop and I run through, American malarkey, monarchy crew. Dollars and cents, public relations defense, my Arkansas daughters across the new White House fence. Deplatformed true speech, now corruption is beyond reach, smuggler and affluenza, the fool Robin Leach. White House crack pipe, deep throat circus, smack that ass poppy, go on and work this. Film for Pornhub from the Pennsylvania Avenue bathtub, push hit another slug, now roll out my red rug. There you go.
Nice. Very good. Still thinking about Joe Biden's penis. Still thinking about
That's
his
poetry.
penis, and I'll never get over that.
You know
no,
what?
that is
You know what?
poetry. That's good. Thank you
I
for
find
that,
this
Yona.
voice-
That nightmare fuel
I think it's
never
awesome.
ends.
Let's see here.
Hey, Jimmy said she wants to help make Yona merch. We're gonna make some Yona merch.
I know. I'm stoked. We can make this happen.
We can make those
We're gonna make it
dreams
happen.
come true, sir. Just you and I and our friends from above.
I found it.
It's not real
I think
song,
it's
I just
called
made
Under
it up.
Funky. Here we go. We do it live. Fuck it. We do it live.
I've heard this one. This is pretty good.
I got this new job thanks to my pop. $8 a month. Champagne don't stop. The coke and the horse. Widows of love. Charisma, gas, energy. For Rip and Dub. My brother Bo's dead. His old lady gives me head. The cell phones and laptops record what was said. And Ashley plays her Jew. Pop and I run through. American malarkey. Monarchy crew. Dollars and cents, public relations defense, Arkansas dollar across the new White House fence. Deplatform true speech, corruption is beyond reach, smuggler and affluenza, full Robert Leach. White House crack pipe, deep throat circus, smack that ass poppy, go on and work this. Film for Pornhub, the Pennsylvania Avenue Banta, push it another slug, now pull up a red rug.
Smack that ass, Poppy.
Smack that ass, Pop.
That's a shirt too. That's another shirt. Smack that ass, Poppy.
Shout out Cupcake.
From the makers of Wash Your Ass comes Smack That Ass, Poppy. We could get, you know what? We could use the same donkey that I use for my Wash Your Ass thing, and then you just like have somebody just whooping his ass, and he's got that look, that shit-eating grin on his face, like, oh yeah, Daddy like, Poppy like.
That's right.
I'm all about
thinking about wash the that ass, or I'll smack that ass, Poppy. Wash that ass or get it smacked.
That's right. I ain't touching a dirty ass, so wash it before I smack it. That's the way
It's all about hygiene.
I'm trying.
Best practices. Best practice.
I think we got I don't know. Damn, it's almost 7 o'clock here. So I'm probably gonna.
Yeah, I've got 6:48 local West Virginia time. That's right,
we're
John
both.
Denver.
We both East Coast. We both East Coast. We know. Or Eastern Standard Time, at least Eastern time zone.
That's right.
So yeah, probably about 7 o'clock. We'll go
live here in Appalachia.
Take off. I have done absolutely nothing in this game. All I've done in this game is just drive and fuck around. So, and that was the goal today, was just to just go around, fuck around, hang out with friends, talk some shit, you know, maybe try and you know, if you're feeling kind of tense or anxious or whatever, or depressed, come on, have some fun with us, and you know, take a little
But you
break
know,
from that
that's how we stay informed, Uncle Warren. We stay informed, Uncle Warren, because we all fuck around and we find out.
That's right. There'd be a lot of people finding out a lot of shit lately. So, you know, because there've been too much fucking around as it is. So, so Mariana says, I love that regarding your song there, Yona. She said, I love this song. I had this song stuck in my head for the longest time. So, fuck it, I'm doing it live. It's kind of hard to play this game and really keep up with the chat. So I'm trying to do my best here. So, but yeah, last time I did this was pretty fun. I enjoyed hanging out with everybody, having a good time. So, you know, when are you doing another show, Yona?
Probably gonna do one tonight. It's such a crisis. It's the scandal of the century in the civil engineering world. What's happened there at the Corpus Christi Bay Bridge project being axed. It's a big fucking deal. It's like them canceling the Boston Big Dig in the middle of it and saying we're just gonna abandon it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, that's cool.
It's unthinkable.
What time you going on tonight?
Wow. Probably be 11 o'clock Eastern, because that way it'll be 8 o'clock Pacific for my Pacific friends. I might have a couple friends coming on from British Columbia, Canada. Sweet.
Ooh, nice. More Canadians. You can never get enough Canadians.
What the Canuck? What the Canuck is going on?
What the Canuck? Calgary over in a few minutes. Sorry. That probably didn't even make any sense.
You mean Calgary. It's Calgary, sir. It's Calgary.
Calgary. Calgary. He misses you. Calgary. We have reached the limits of sanity, y'all. Oh, I didn't even know this was back here. I think I've played this game so many times, but I don't think I've ever seen what's in here. So anyway,
just a review, fans, for those that have your scorecards ready. Canada is actually a confederation. The other fun facts we learned was it's not Regina, it's Regina in Manitoba. And yes, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan is a real place. The police there ride on horses with black boots, brown hats, and cute red jackets. Back to you, Warren.
Regina. It's stupid. It's so stupid, Fappy. What? That is amazing. That was amazing. Well, on that note,
boy, did it. This whole show just turned it. It was supposed to be about depression, and instead it was Canada, which I guess is congruent. You know, Canada's kind of depressing.
Well, the point was to alleviate the anxiety and depression. We could talk about the actual existence of both, but the goal of the show today, and I think we achieved that goal, was to bring a little levity. You know, it's kind of say what's on our minds, get it off our chests, as it were, and get it out. You know, it's like that kind of shit. People don't understand. It's like poison, you know. And Glory and I were talking. We said this earlier. Like, we're the biggest offenders about keeping shit inside. We don't want people to worry about us and stuff like that because everybody's got enough on their plate. And I still feel the same way too, you know. But at the same time, you can let stuff out of your system. You can vent. And there's nothing wrong with venting, you know. It's good. You got to get that shit out. Otherwise, it'll poison. It's like poison. It'll kill you. And I've seen enough friends and relatives take the dirt nap for no good reason, and I'm tired of seeing that. So, holy shit.
Yeah, especially with PTSD. I've lost more friends that I served with in the Army since their time of service due to suicide than those that actually were injured or killed in combat. It's incredible.
I think I found my future wife right here. She'll pop up here in a second. There she is. So anyway,
congratulations.
She's got a big
I love
heart.
it when the boy gets the little moral of the end. This is the way every movie should always end, Warren. When the guy gets the girl.
And the hero pose, because it's the hero. You got to do that low angle shot up for the hero shot, right? So,
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right. Better lighting. Come on, better lighting.
I'm going to go make myself some supper and get out of here. We've been almost 3 hours. That's not too bad. I think it was pretty good run, right? Yeah.
The key to depression is to find, when you're depressed, to find an outlet, to get it off your chest. For Yona, I write songs about the president's son smoking crack, but do whatever you need to get it off your chest.
Exactly. So, Gonzalo, thanks for showing up. Oh, who scared my old lady? Aw, I'll never find love.
Love it.
Yona, Gonzalo.
There's one right there. What about purple pants?
I don't like scared chicks. They're
Purple
like
pants. There you go.
Scared chicks are like those
Gonzalo
chihuahuas.
right here.
They're always shaking, and I don't have time for that. So, but anyway,
Coach Red Pill Archives on YouTube. YouTube / Coach Pill Red Archive or blah, 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 Coach Red Pill Archives.
I want one of these trailers. All right, I'm getting off track. Guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Everybody who hung out in Discord today, it was fun. Everybody in the chat. Big love to everybody. Kitty! Tonight, around midnight Eastern, we're going to have another secret show. Jesse Jett's going to be on tonight. We'll have, hopefully we'll get some of your music on there at the beginning, Yona. So please don't forget me. And we'll put you in the mix. And then around 12:15, we'll get the show started. Jesse, I have no idea what Jesse's going to play tonight. Whatever it is, it's probably going to be fun. The kids dig it. It's always a good time. So come hang out if you want. We'll be doing it on YouTube, Rockfin, the usual suspects. So, yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. Stay well. Stay mentally well, too. I think nowadays that may be even more important than being just physically well. So I worry about everybody. I'm always going to worry about everybody. I wish I could do more for people. If I ever get in a situation where I can, I will definitely do it. But in the meantime, we'll do these kind of things, provide some entertainment at a low cost, and hopefully that'll tide us over till we get to a better place in this country, in this world, and in our own heads too. So, sayonara, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks for, like I said, thanks for hanging out with us. And wash your ass. Keep it clean, because you never know, who's coming over. So, peace out, home slices. You heard.